Imagine walking into your village one quiet morning, only to find every single person gone. No goodbye, no trace, just silence and a chill that crawls under your skin. This is not fiction. This happened, not in some haunted movie, but in the frozen wilds of Canada nearly a century ago. And to this day, no one can explain it. The story begins in 1930, deep in the Canadian Arctic, a place so cold, so isolated, only the toughest could survive. Winters here aren't just cold, they're punishing. Ice crystals hang in the air like glass dust, and even your breath sounds like it's cracking in the silence. There was a small Inuit village called Anjikuni. Peaceful, hidden, covered in snow most of the year. Families lived in huts built from stone and animal hide. They fished the frozen lakes, hunted caribou, and told stories passed down for generations beneath the dancing northern lights. No roads led there, just frozen trails and endless white. To reach it, you had to want to get there. One day, a seasoned trapline hunter named Joe Labelle was traveling through the region. He was no stranger to these parts. He knew the village, had stayed there before. Rugged and experienced, he could read the land like a map. So, when he approached Anjikuni one evening, he expected the usual: laughter, barking dogs, warm fires glowing through cracks in the huts. But something was wrong. He felt it immediately. The air was still, unnaturally so. Even the wind seemed hesitant, brushing past him in short, breathless gusts. The village lay ahead, silent, lifeless. He called out, once, twice, nothing. As he stepped into the village, the snow crunched beneath his boots, echoing like thunder in the silence. He opened the door to the first hut. The hinges moaned. Inside, food still sat on the table. A stew, untouched, still warm. Wooden bowls lay half-filled, as if someone had been eaten and simply stopped. Clothes were hanging neatly, tools untouched, guns remained in their racks. Nothing was stolen. Fire still burned in the hearths, low embers glowing red. Outside, dogs were tied up, but they weren't barking. They were dead, starved, collapsed in the snow, their eyes frozen open. Time had not stopped, but the people were gone. Can you picture it? A village with every sign of life, yet not a soul to be found. Like everyone stood up at once and walked into the snow? Without reason, without need. Joe searched every hut, every corner. He checked the edge of the forest. Nothing. No footprints leading away, not even a drag mark or broken twig. Just flawless snow. He panicked. Fear clawed at his chest. He ran all through the night until he reached the nearest telegraph office. He contacted the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The Mounties arrived a few days later. They were stunned. There was no mistake, no exaggeration. Joe hadn't imagined it. The village was completely abandoned. But the strangest detail, there were no footprints, not a single track in any direction, and in fresh snow, that's impossible. Something had erased their exit. Then they found the graves. Several burial sites near the village had been dug up, but not by animals. The graves were carefully opened and empty. The authorities found no sign of a struggle, no blood, no violence, no signs of disease, just eerie, untouched silence. One officer reported that even the village's sacred ceremonial tools had been left behind, something considered unthinkable in Inuit culture. How does an entire community vanish without even disturbing the snow? That's when more stories started to surface. Around the same time, a trapper from another region claimed he saw strange lights in the sky above Anjikuni. Blue and white orbs floating, moving slowly without sound. Another traveler swore he heard a low hum coming from beneath the ice, like something ancient shifting in its sleep. The press got hold of the story. Newspapers across Canada exploded with headlines. An entire village gone. Arctic mystery shocks nation. And so the theories began. Some said aliens, the lights in the sky, the missing graves, the perfect disappearance. It all pointed to abduction. Something not of this world. Others whispered about secret government experiments, testing mind control, magnetic field disruption, weapons never meant to be seen. What if the village was a casualty, erased, then silenced? Some blamed a sudden panic, a spiritual frenzy triggered by superstition or fear, but how could an entire village flee into deadly snow without supplies, children, and nothing to tell you where everyone went? Almost a century later, no answers have ever come, no bodies found, no new evidence. The Canadian government quietly closed the case. Some skeptics called it a hoax, said the newspapers exaggerated, blamed Joe Labelle. But they never proved he lied. And those who went there, they all say the same thing. Something was wrong in Anjikuni. The village was never inhabited again. To this day, the place remains untouched. Locals avoid it. Explorers say the air feels thick, like it remembers. Some say the silence in that village is louder than any scream. Some say we're not meant to know the truth. But I ask you, what do you believe happened that night? Was it something natural, something human, or something beyond our understanding? Leave your theory in the comments. And if you want more stories that make you question what's real, what's possible, and what waits in the shadows, subscribe and stay tuned, because this was only the beginning.